Welcome to Rewire Yourself Rich, the podcast for the woman who's done with temporary bullshit mindset shifts and ready for a full nervous system level identity upgrade. The woman who knows she was born to transform the world with her unique superpowers. I'm your host, Kelly Pender, wealth identity rewiring expert, intuitive mentor, and creator of the Rich Coded Method. In our world, we don't manifest like needy ass bitches. We re-encode the big fucking deal wealthy woman back into yourselves. We shift your DNA to remember who the fuck you are. Ready to become rich coded, getting paid to exist? Let's fucking go. Get ready to just feel so fucking unstoppable, unfuckwithable, and ready to lead your business, your life, your millionaire movement your way. I invite you to notice anything that comes up for you and to just be aware, to sit with it. And I want you to ask yourself, do I even believe this to be true for me? And that will all make sense in a second. Okay. So I invite you to be so aware so that we can become rich rule breakers, so that you get to decide how money, how wealth, how prosperity, how life, how business works for you. It's a decision that lies in your hands. It doesn't lie in anyone else's hands. And how fucking incredible does that feel? That this lies in your hands and that you are in control. Let me know if that feels really good, that you get to decide. You get to decide, no one else does. Feel into this. How would you love to collapse 5-figure months into 5-figure days? Or multiple 5-figure months into multi 5-figure days? Fuck yes, please. Sign me up. Yes, please. Here we go. Okay, amazing. So this is exactly what we're going to be talking about today, but I'm going to share this from a unique lens that you may have never heard before. Okay. And you're not just going, ooh, give us a tea, girl. You're not just going to do this once. You're going to do this again and again, where you become the woman where this is your standard. It's not something that you do. It's not something that you try to make happen. It's who you fucking are. Okay. So let me know if you would love this to be your standard. Yes, she's in. New standard coming hot. Amazing. Okay. So absolutely. How would you love to be featured in magazines, speaking on stages, whether in person, virtually, and or to see your face on a billboard in Times Square? I'm asking this for you to begin to tap into your desires that you may not have been admitting to yourself. In case you're new here, I'm Kelly, and my genius is rewiring women rich through wealth identity rewiring and EFT tapping to get your brain and body effortlessly on board. And so we're saying F off to logic, and we're collapsing time by playing in the quantum field. In the rich coded movement, rich doesn't make you an asshole. It makes you more of who the fuck you are. Rich in love, wealth, health, prosperity, joy, fun, pleasure, play. And we are going to break you free from any rules. Remember what I said in the beginning? Become aware. Or identities that are keeping you chained to the past, to free yourself and to become the rich coded woman. I'm going to lead you through the rich coded method to begin to allow you to double your income and unleash your millionaire movement. We are going to get your brain and your body on board to accept your desires for more and your identity, which is the missing code. And we're also going to recalibrate your fame frequency. Are you ready to become a rich rule breaker? Remember what I said, we get to break all the motherfucking rules to lead business and life and your bank account your way. Yes. So let me ask you a question so that we can really begin to become rich rule breakers. How much time are you giving to the it's not here yet? I know what I want. I know what I desire. I know where I'm going, but looking at my bank account, looking at this, it's not here yet. And how many times a day Are you binging the podcast of 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K, 100K months aren't here yet? I want you to be so honest with yourself. How much airtime are you giving to the it's not here yet? 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K months haven't happened yet. Be so honest. On a scale of 0 to 11, 0 is none at all, 11 is a lot. Okay. There's no right or wrong answer here. Awareness is everything, and awareness is going to massively shift everything for you. So here's what I want you to know. When we are constantly, even if it's however much time, right? When we are focusing on it's not here yet, it hasn't happened yet, why is it taking so much time? I've been in business for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. I should be here. When we're doing that, and when we're giving that airtime in our brain, this is massively, I'm saying this with love, this is massively fucking up your electromagnetic field, which determines whether you are open, available, ready, or not to a quantum leap. A quantum leap in your business, a quantum leap in your finances, a quantum leap in your sales, a quantum leap in your visibility. Okay. And so what tends to happen is when we are focused, like steadfast focused, even if you're like, I'm trying to pull in positive thoughts, I'm trying to journal, I'm trying to distract myself. If that's still going on in the background of your brain, like that's the track that's playing day in and day out in your brain, if that's what's going on, your reticular activating system is focused on that. And then you're unknowingly having the lens, pretend I have glasses on right now. You're looking through the lens of, see, that didn't work. See, that person just told me they were going to join and then didn't. See, that launch didn't go the way that I wanted. And your brain from your reticular activating system is looking for evidence to show you, see, it's not here yet. See, it hasn't happened yet. See, it's going to take X more amount of time until we are there, which further separates you from the 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K months business life that you desire. And I want you to know that you are the one who is at choice and in control of training your reticular activating system. You are the one who can rewire your neural pathways to train your reticular activating system to see more of what you want, to see more of your desires. And so it all comes down to the track, the podcast that we're binging in the background of what we're listening to day in and day out, right? And then what happens is when we're focusing on that, whether this is consciously or subconsciously, what that's doing is it's creating these belief systems, which, like I said, they're just neural pathways in your brain. In case you're new to this work, it's like, have you ever driven to work and say that you take this path day in or day out, or maybe it's like taking your kids to school and you do this every single effing day? Have you ever drove home, parked your car, and you're like, I don't even remember that drive home. I have no recollection of that drive home. Yes. Why? How did you get home if you were consciously driving the car? I know you were conscious. You know you were conscious. You weren't like, how'd you get home? What got you there? Your subconscious mind, right? Your neural pathways that take that route day in and day out, where you were probably listening to a podcast, listening to some music, talking to a friend on the phone, and you're like, oh my God, I'm home already. What? How'd that happen? Your subconscious mind runs the show, leads the show. I just did that the other day. Yeah. I know. It's funny when you do it. It's like, what the fuck? What just took over my body? Your subconscious mind. Okay. And that's why consciously we can be implementing all the strategy. Consciously, we're learning all of the plug and play templates, the tactics, and it feels like we're busying ourselves day in and day out, creating podcasts, creating emails, creating content, doing this, that, the other thing. And we're like, why isn't this working? I'm consciously doing all the things. Yes, you are. And you're fucking incredible and you're fucking amazing because you are doing the things because you have a desire. However, if your subconscious mind is focused on that track of it's not here yet, it's not working, I'm not enough, I need to be doing more, 10K, 20K, 100K months aren't here yet, that is what we are going to create more and more of. Okay. So everything up until this point is manifestational evidence. And I'm talking your external reality is manifestational evidence based off of your belief systems, your identity, rules that you have going on, behaviors, stories, narratives, habits, patterns. Okay. And so, what I need you to know is this. And this is actually very cool and very exciting to know, which is going to get you like, oh, yes, love this. So, right now, everything that you're experiencing in your external reality, like look around you, your house, your car, your this, your that, your bank account, everything has been created based off of a past identity and everything that comes with it. Like I just said, behaviors, belief systems, stories, narratives, rules. And so the thing is that if your external reality right now is based off of a past identity, and if you are right now allowing yourself to rewire and shift your identity, do you know that your external reality will catch up to you? Yes. And how fucking cool is that? Because your external reality is a reflection of your internal reality. And a lot of the times, it hasn't caught up yet because right now we are rewiring. Right now we are rule breaking. Right now we are installing new belief systems. Right now we are re-encoding ourselves and our DNA. And knowing that you are choosing to rewire, choosing to identity shift, are you also choosing to know? Notice how I didn't say believe. Are you choosing to know that your external reality will catch up to you? Yeah, to know that that is going to happen, that will happen. Yes. So many of us attach and identify with our current circumstances, right? So, like I said, looking around, it's like, oh, my bank account, oh, the sales, oh, the clients, the business. It's starting to gain momentum, it's starting to move. But then there's times where we're like, why isn't it here yet? I want more. I want more. I want more. And then what happens is that when we desire more and it's not here yet, we tend to make meaning out of it, right? We want more. It's not here yet. And then we have this feeling of I'm behind. We have this feeling of doubting ourselves. We have this feeling of feeling not enough. Notice how I'm very loudly exaggerating feeling. Because you have that feeling based off of time, based off of it's not here yet, we pull in a meaning and then we identify as someone who it takes 3+ years to have their desires. It takes a really long time to have their desires. I have to work my ass off in order to have what I want. Okay. And we attach our current circumstances and identify as them. And this keeps us chained to what currently is, which then we can get caught in this cycle and in this loop of continuing to create the same external circumstances, right? Rather than quantum leaping, rather than going in the direction that we desire. And like I said, this is why strategy, the perfect carousel post, the plug and play 6-figure templates haven't been working. Because that's all just like putting a band-aid on a, I'm so used to saying boo-boo, on a boo-boo, on a wound that we have to get to the root of to see where that wound came from instead of just slapping a band-aid on it, right? And the truth is, most people aren't willing to do this inner work because they don't want to feel uncomfortable. They don't want to feel the resistance. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear these rules that they've been following since they were 3 in the womb, past life, generational, generational, generational. But let me tell you something, you're not most people. You're not. And feeling the discomfort and rewriting your relationship and rewiring your relationship with money and your wealth identity is what allows you to have more. Okay. So in our world, rich doesn't make you an asshole. It makes you more of who the fuck you are. And so to allow in 5-figure days, we get to rewire old stories around what you believe being rich makes you become. And so this is where you can feel into this. If you're driving, feel into this, pull out a piece of paper, pull out your notebook. Ask yourself this question. What am I afraid will happen when I become rich? What am I afraid will happen when I become rich? What am I afraid will happen when I make the money that I desire? When I have the success that I want? What am I afraid will happen? And to go a little bit deeper, who do I think I will become? What do I think others will think of me or about me when I become rich, when I have the money, when I have the success, when I have the business, the bank account, the life, the wealth that I desire? What are you actually afraid will happen? Or who are you afraid you will become? And when you bring these subconscious fears to the surface, and by the way, right now, all of us are in a conscious state, all of us are in beta brainwaves. So this may come through tonight, tomorrow, the second you wake up, or like 48 to 72 hours from now. Okay. So it's not coming through right now. It's no big deal. Yep. So right now you're bringing the the subconscious to light, to the conscious. So right now we're speaking to the unseen, which we love. And this is where the magic happens. Other ones that I've heard from my clients are, I'll be unrelatable. My friends won't like me anymore. I'll make my husband, my partner insecure, and then we won't survive our marriage. Here's where we get to break these rules. Here's where you get to become a rich rule breaker. Okay. Because when you begin to bring the unseen to the conscious state, we're seeing it right now. We're bringing it forward. You're doing amazing. When you start to bring it to the surface, I want you to look at what you just wrote down and ask yourself, is it the absolute ultimate truth of source, of God, of universe, of angels, of guides, that when I have the success, have the wealth, have the money, have the business that I desire, that I'm going to be conceited, that I'm going to be too much? I want you to think of this as a math equation. The wealth I desire, having it, equals I'm conceited, equals I'm too much, equals my relationship with my adult kids will be transactional, equals people will expect even more from me. Is that the ultimate, ultimate, ultimate truth? Or has it felt like the truth? Has it felt like it could be the truth? It could be a potentiality or possibility of the truth. I invite you to tap into that. Is it the ultimate truth? So here's what happens when we have this rule, this equation in our subconscious mind. Your brain already made an entire 25-page or 25 chapter book on what it believes will happen. And then your body is like, yeah, it's definitely going to happen. And because we already created that 25 chapter book, that narrative in your brain, we decided that that's the truth. And what happens is that when we have that narrative in our brain, your brain and body already created the entire scenario. And it decided that when you become rich, when you have the success, when you have the money that you want to make, that you know that you're meant for, that people will think you don't deserve it, that you will become more isolated, that people will expect more from you, people will use you. I'm just looking at what you guys said. And when we have that, your subconscious mind, its only job is to keep you alive. That's it. And so when it created that rule and this book and the narrative that people expect more from me, people will use me when I become rich, your subconscious mind takes that on as a threat. The threat is when I become rich, I'm going to die. Okay. Your subconscious mind job is to keep you alive. It doesn't want you to die. So it's not going to fully allow it in unless we rewire and rewrite this rule. Okay. So let me ask you something. What is your definition of rich? Not your mom's definition of rich, not your dad's definition of rich, not your partner's definition of rich. What's your definition of rich? Have you ever allowed yourself to define what rich means to you? Not society's definition, not your grandmom's definition. I, for so long, took on my dad's definition of rich. Rich makes you an asshole. Oh, look at those rich assholes. That's what I heard growing up. And even if I heard that once or 3 times or 7 times, I took that on as the truth. So I was actually consciously and subconsciously afraid of the word rich. I was like, ooh, rich people. Ooh. That makes you kind of like, ugh, stuck up and ick and conceited. I thought that that was the truth. And this is what I said. You get to ask yourself, do I choose to continue to believe this? Or can I create my own definition of rich? Your own definition of success? And how good does that feel knowing that that lies in your hands? And this is a rule that you get to follow. This is a rule that you get to lead. And this is what it means to become a rich rule breaker, because you're breaking free from all of society's rules around what they thought that you were going to become, or who you thought, or what you thought was going to happen based off of your dad's rule, your mom's rule, your grandmom's rule, and maybe even your partner's rule. Whose rule are you following? Whose rule can you break? And how can you rewrite and rewire this rule? This is your new definition of rich. And what's so beautiful about it is that it lies in your hands. You get to make it your own. And when you make it your own, that feels really active, alive, sexy, like playful, fun, flirty, and that you can get on board with. That your brain and body want to accept because it feels fucking good. Maybe before the word rich was like, ooh, there's something about it that just feels weird to me. Why? Why? Oh, for me, growing up, my dad, that's a rich asshole. I think I heard that more times than I can count on my fingers. Okay. And how interesting is it that we became rich rule breakers and now we're trademarking rich coded? Because I broke all those motherfucking rules of everyone else and made it my own definition that my brain and body could accept and get on board with and was fucking excited about, where it felt good. Why did it feel good? Because it felt like me. Because it wasn't tainted with anyone else's rules, anyone else's definitions, anyone else's stories, narratives, inner dialogues, and anyone else's bullshit. It was mine. And that feels really fucking good. So you are now defining your own definition of rich, where it's your own, it's no one else's, it's not tainted, it's not filled with pressure, with lack, with scarcity, with force, with just like, ick. Okay. It fucking gets to feel good. And when it feels good, it's like, ooh, I want that. Notice what my body's doing. I'm coming towards you. I'm like, yes, I want that. Rather than like this, ew, ugh. I don't want to be rich. That's not your truth. Someone else's truth. And we don't want to be like someone else. So who do you desire to be? You. Because that's what money is. It's energy. It's a tool that amplifies the truth of who the fuck you are. And right now, I know, otherwise, we wouldn't be here. I know that each and every one of you are fucking incredible, fucking amazing. And knowing that more money that comes into your life, into your hands, is only going to make you even more incredible, even more amazing. And then you get to distribute that wealth, that richness, that abundance out into the world to create a ripple effect. Fuck yes, that I know that you're like, I desire this. This is what I can get on board with. And I know that feels good for you. So let me know if you're excited to be a rich rule breaker and to break free from everyone else's motherfucking rules that were never yours. It was almost like a playbook of rules that we were following from in the womb, past life, generational, when we were young, young, young until now. We're breaking. Yes, 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 yes. Amazing. Okay, so I want to ask you something. Did you know we are also unleashing your millionaire movement? And because we're becoming rich rule breakers, where rich no longer makes you an asshole, it's more of who the fuck you are. I want to know more of who the fuck you are. So tell me and ask yourself, what part of myself am I keeping hidden? Am I downplaying? Am I censoring and telling myself that she's not enough, that it's not enough? What part of you are you hiding? Are you dimming? Are you shrinking, downplaying, censoring, and saying, that's not good enough? No, don't do that. People aren't going to like that. That's going to make people angry. What part of you are you hiding? So, a lot of us are hiding the truth of who we are. The part of me that gives no fucks about calling people out and speaking my truth. Yes. Okay. And I want you to know that everything that you just shared in this chat and that you're continuing to drop in here that you've been hiding, this is what you're meant to be known and massively paid for. So Shelby just dropped in the part of me that gives no fucks about calling people out and speaking your truth. That is what you're meant to be known and massively paid for. Sarah says her religion or your messiness, that is what you're meant to be known and massively paid for. Amanda, my playful and sexiness, my quirkiness, that is what you're meant to be known and massively paid for. Let me tell you something. If I showed up, I was like, hey guys, today we're going to talk about, if I showed, I thought my boob popped out. If I showed up like that, that is not who I am. That would be me trying to be like professional. We might have a boob pop out today, guys. That would be me trying to be professional, trying to fit into a box, trying to follow a script, trying to do what all my business coaches said I needed to do in order to be successful, trying to be someone who I was told to be in order for it to work, trying to do what I thought I needed to do in order for people to see me a certain way. When I was following those rules and showing up like that in my business, ooh, I was massively, massively just like, if you think of a hose with water flowing through it, it's like I tied a knot in it. And my potency, my power, my silliness, my sexiness, my play, my pleasure, gone. She wasn't there. She wasn't online. She would come out sometimes and be like, oh my God, who am I? I was not fully allowing her online. No wonder it wasn't fucking working. No wonder how much strategy I applied wasn't working because I wasn't fucking being myself. And here's what I need you to know. When you are in resistance to yourself, when you are resisting the truth of who the fuck you are and who you came here to be, you're resisting the money that wants to come in. You're resisting the clients that want to come in. You're resisting the sales that want to come in. You're resisting the opportunities from life, from God, from source, from universe that are literally floating in your field right fucking now that want to come in. If you take anything away from today, please remember, when I'm resisting myself, I'm in resistance to life. When I'm resisting myself, I'm in resistance to money. I'm in resistance to fuck yes opportunities. And so drop in the chat right now if you're like, I'm ready to no longer resist myself. I'm ready to no longer resist. I get to be me. Yes. Claim it. Drop it in. No longer resisting myself. And let me tell you something. This is a practice and it's an uncomfortable as fuck practice. And this is what a lot of people don't speak on. They're like, oh, just show up and be yourself. And you're like, bitch, my old identity wants to keep me in the known and familiar of hiding myself. So this is uncomfortable. Yes, discomfort is required in order for you to expand. Discomfort is required in order for you to up level. This is why we have support and mentorship and guidance where we don't get stuck in this resistance and stuck in this feeling of discomfort and then don't allow ourselves to unleash our true selves. Because every single one of you here has a unique God-given gift and a unique superpower that no one else on this earth in this dimension possesses. And when you allow yourself to unleash your superpowers, this is how you're going to be known and massively paid. And so I know right now that you've been dabbling in your, this is my genius. This is my superpower. This is who the fuck I am. I know that. I know that you've been tapping into it and you've been resisting it. You already know what it is. A lot of us have just been hiding from our superpowers. I'm burping, which means that some of us are releasing resistance. And so, what if you knew? Notice how I have my hand on my heart right now. What if you knew that it was safe to be all of you? What if you knew that it was safe to unleash your superpowers? What if you knew that it was safe to turn the dial all the way up on who the fuck you are? And let me tell you something. Are people going to be triggered? Yes. Are people going to comment weird shit? Yes. But I need you to know that you've already been through a lot of shit in your life. And here you still are, which is showing me that you can handle anything and that you can overcome. And I need you to know that when you give yourself permission to turn the dial all the way the fuck up on you, on who you are, what happens is two things. It's going to give others the energetic permission for them to be more of who they are, or it's going to illuminate the discomfort in other people of where they are hiding, dimming, suppressing themselves. And either way, however other people respond or react, whether they take this option or this one, the two that I just shared, it's not your responsibility. It's not up to you how they choose to respond and react. You get to keep moving in the direction of your desires because that's what you came here to fucking do. That's what your soul signed up for. And how does it feel knowing right now, and be honest with me in the chat, how does it feel knowing that you get to be more of who the fuck you are and who you came here to be? And the part of you that you've been dimming, that you've been hiding, that you've been suppressing and censoring is the exact piece that you're meant to be known and massively paid for. How does that feel? Hearing that truth. It feels amazing and so freeing. I had to hide myself since I was little. Yep. To be quiet, to be good. Yes, the good girl. To make things difficult. I fear that I will be judged and seen as too much. Yes. And this is all self-protection. Subconscious self-protection and emotional self-protection. Okay. that we get to rewire, that we get to take that self-protection barrier down so that we can unleash the potency of who we fucking are, the truth of who we are. All right. So, one more piece that I want to wrap us up with today, just to go a little bit deeper with what we were saying. A big part of the rich coded movement is to break all the rules, like we said, rich rule breaker, around why you thought you needed to be or what you needed to do in order to be successful, wealthy, prosperous, rich. And this was all from other people's rules, societal conditioning, programming. From there, right? Kind of like what you said in the chat, Amanda, we created a safety identity. Some of you are familiar with this. Your safety identity is who you thought you needed to be, what you thought you needed to do, how you thought you needed to act, lead, show up, dress, create to be perceived a certain way. And when you're in your safety identity is when you are censoring yourself. You're afraid to say what the fuck you want. You're afraid to drop truth bombs for fear of triggering people, for fear of people judging you, being seen as too much. This is where we're afraid to claim our desires for fear of being shamed, shunned, bullied, outcast. And so here's some questions to ask yourself to know if you're in your safety identity, okay? Whenever you're about to share something on social media or put something out there, do you overanalyze? Do you criticize yourself? Do you question everything? Do you tense up? Are you like, no, who am I to say this? I can't say this. I can't share what's real, the truth of what's on my heart, of who I am. Are there any parts of your messaging where you're like, I want to fucking say this, but you're like, that's off limits? This is too much. One more question to know. Where am I trying to be understood for fear of being misunderstood? For fear of people not getting it, not getting me instead of just being me, instead of just being myself. This is when you're in your safety identity. Yes, a big one is I need to ask for permission. I'm seeking validation to feel good instead of deciding to validate myself. Yep. Such a high desire to be understood. Yes. So let me speak to that real quick. This is what I say in all of my spaces with all of my clients. It's not about being understood. When we're trying to have people understand us, what we're doing is that we're trying to convince them to get it. And then we're improving energy where we feel like we have to prove ourselves. We have to try, hustle, force, pressure. Instead of deciding, I fucking get myself. I fucking get it. And I understand. And because I choose to get myself, because I choose to decide that I matter, because I choose to understand, I show up from there. I lead from there. I speak from there. And those who feel that are my soulmate clients. Those who don't get it, who don't understand me, it's not my responsibility for them to get it, for them to understand me. Your only responsibility is for you to understand yourself, for you to get yourself, and for you to choose to see yourself. It's no one else's responsibility. If we are looking outside of us for someone to understand us, to get us to see us, that's when it feels like we're in this like uphill battle. We're like, I can't get there. That's when it feels hard. That's when it feels like a struggle. When what we desire is easeful and spaciousness. It's going to feel easeful when you choose to decide to see yourself in all of your gifts and all of your magic and all of your magnificence. I decide to see myself. Okay. And this is what I want to end us with today. So, in order to activate your superpowers and to become rich coded, we first need to, like I said, unleash the truth of you. So, knowing who you are in your safety identity, where maybe we're censoring ourselves, trying to be understood, proving ourselves, who are you really? Who are you really in your truth? I think you guys see, I mean, I'm talking about a boob popping out. I'm silly. I'm playful. I'm fun. I'm weird. I'm sexy. I brought that part of myself fully online. I allowed her in. Who are you? Who are you really? When you're not in your safety identity, when you're not trying to be a certain way, trying to show up a certain way, who are you really in the truth, the essence, the potency of you? In your soul, in your cells, in your being. Who the fuck are you? Let her free. Let her come out. Silly, carefree, loving, playful, curious, playful, bold, silly, weird as fuck. Yes. Do you see that we're all silly? We're all playful. We're all bold. We're all weird as fuck. And doesn't that feel good? Incredibly insightful, intuitive, connected. Yes. Yes. Everything that you're dropping right now, I feel that. And let me tell you something. When you bring your full self fully online and you're feeling yourself first, guess who else is going to feel you? Your soulmate clients. But they can't feel you when you're hiding yourself, when you're censoring yourself, when you're not bringing your full big fucking deal self online in person. And that's why strategies haven't been working, because if we're not being our full true selves, our frequency is going to fall flat. Our soulmate clients can't feel us. And they sure as shit can't hear us if they can't feel us. Okay. So let me know if you're going to allow yourself to bring the truth of who the fuck you are online. And again, this is a practice. So you can practice turning the volume up. I didn't say go from 0 to 11, but maybe you want to go from like a 2 to a 6 or an 8 to a 10, right? Can you turn the dial up 2 to 3 notches? Yes. And can you let it be fun? Can you let the truth of who the fuck you are be fun, be free, be playful, without worrying about the outcome, without taking on responsibility of other people's reactions? Yes. Yes. So I want you to drop in the chat, I get to be me, because I know that we've been seeking from everyone else permission to tell us that we're allowed to be you. But we're not seeking permission anymore. We're breaking all the motherfucking rules. We're bringing it back to us. We're seeing ourselves and choosing that I get to be me. Yes, I see all of you claiming right now. Each and every one of you just gave yourself that energetic permission slip. I get to be me. And that feels so fucking good. And so my homework for you is to, tonight, tomorrow, I want you to either do an Instagram story or create a post where you are not censoring yourself, where you're dropping those truth bombs, where you're saying it like it is, having those mic drop moments, calling people out, whatever you were saying in the chat, without worrying about how anyone else is going to respond or react to you. And have fun with it. Play with it. Be playful. Let it be fun. Let yourself be free. Yes, that is my homework for you. I'm so excited. If you loved this episode as much as I did, please take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram so I can share you and your incredible body of work to my network and celebrate you. And as a special abundance gift, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Take a screenshot, send it to me on Instagram, and I'll send you my sexy sales hypnosis to rewire yourself rich in your sleep.